Trustee Purcell. Here. Trustee Willis. Here. Trustee Colton. Trustee Hyperman.
Here.
Trustee Harris Jones. Here. Trustee Roman. Here. President Hofer.
Here, representing staff this evening, to my left, our village manager Napoleon Haney, to my right, our village attorney Chris Cummings. To the audience's right, our police chief Denise McGrath, finance director Amy Zakowski, economic and community development director Angela Maceras, and assistant village manager Tyler Hall. The minutes of October 24th, in additions or corrections, trustee Purcell,
Nothing.
trustee Willis,
None.
trustee Hyperman,
I know.
trustee Harris Jones,
Nothing for me.
trustee Roman.
Nothing.
May I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved. Second.
Been moved by trustee Purcell, seconded by trustee Harris Jones. Roll call, please.
Trustee Purcell. Aye. Trustee Willis. Aye. Trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
Trustee Harris Jones. Aye. Trustee Roman. Aye.
The minutes are approved. The claims list in the amount of $2,369,688.98. Comments or questions? Trustee Purcell.
No, good.
Trustee Willis.
Questions were answered.
Trustee Hyperman.
I have no question.
Trustee Harris Jones.
questions.
Trustee Roman.
No question.
A motion to approve, please.
So moved. Second.
Been moved by trustee Purcell, seconded by trustee Willis. Roll call, please.
Trustee Purcell. Aye. Trustee Willis. Aye. Trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
Trustee Harris Jones. Aye. Trustee Roman. Aye.
The claims list is approved. Of that claims list in excess of $2 million, 6 items comprise the majority of that claims list. Our payment to the city of Chicago Heights for water was $288,000. Our 2023 street resurfacing program was $597,000. Our employees' health insurance for 1 month was $258,000. Our curb and sidewalk repair was $187,000. Our payment to Thorn Creek Sanitary District was $90,000. And particularly of note, our final bond payment was $532,000. That amounted to $1,952,000 or 82% of that claims list. And it should be noted, with this bond payment, Homewood is a debt-free community. I don't think any other community in the Chicagoland area can say that. At this moment, we're a debt-free community. Quite an accomplishment for this board and also the staff. Thank you all. Meet your merchants. Mr. Saris?
Today, we're introducing Angel Boutique, but I do not see her here yet.
A little delayed.
Yes.
Okay. Hear from the audience. If anyone in the audience would like to address the board on any subject not on the agenda, please raise your hand. If not, the omnibus vote. Mrs. Thomas.
The board is asked to approve the reappointment of Geraldine Piper Britt to the Beautification Committee for a 5-year term through November 14, 2028. The board is asked to pass resolution R 3168 honoring Betty J. Enoch, who's retiring from the Homewood Police Department after serving for 23 years, 10 months, first as a public safety dispatcher and then as a records clerk. The board is asked to pass resolution R 3169 honoring the Deputy Chief Robert Meisner on his retirement from the Homewood Police Department. He is retiring after 26 years of dedicated service to Homewood and a total of 31 years in law enforcement. The board is asked to pass ordinance M 2268 granting a special use permit for XFA Cycling and Fitness Studio at 18203 Dixie Highway. The zoning is for a multi-tenant shopping center. The cycling and fitness studio is being classified as a place of assembly for an indoor commercial use in the downtown transition district. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted unanimously for the special use. The board is asked to pass ordinance M 2269 granting a special use permit for Ian Terrell Hair Design Studio at 18350 Kedzie Avenue, Suite 202. Because this is a request for a salon in a general business zoning district, the applicant Jocelyn Alamudi appeared before the Planning and Zoning Commission because of parking requirements. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted unanimously for a special use permit. Board is asked to pass ordinance M 2270 approving the issuance of a permit for outdoor sale of alcoholic beverages for Stony Point Grill at 2031 Ridge Road. The permit would extend through April 30, 2024. The board is asked to allow President Hofeld to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Cook County Department of Public Health for environmental health inspectional services at Homewood food establishments from December 1, 2023 through November 30, 2024. The board is asked to authorize President Hofeld to enter into a redevelopment agreement with Bergstein's New York Deli and Sandwich Shop at 18064 Martin Avenue. The agreement allows for the reimbursement of $150,000 in eligible expenses for the construction costs of remodeling the space.
Thank you. Comments or questions from anyone in the audience? Ms. Maceras, with regard to item H, Bergstein's, could you come up and give us a little overview?
Yeah. On the agenda tonight is an economic development incentive package for Bergstein's New York Deli and Sandwich Shop. Bergstein's of Chicago Heights is in the process of renovating the former Homewood Florist, which is located at 18064 Martin Avenue, and moving their business to Homewood. They have requested financial assistance for the build out of the restaurant to make this project viable. The village has agreed to provide a total of $150,000 of assistance to the owner of the restaurant and the owner of the building. They plan to invest more than $300,000 to open this new restaurant. And the redevelopment agreement includes rebating of the village's 2% places of eating tax for the first 3 years that the restaurant is open. And this rebate is up to $60,000. The village would also reimburse 100% of the cost to install a grease trap at a cost not to exceed $25,000, and reimburse 50% of the cost to construct the ADA compliant bathroom. And this reimbursement would be up to $5,000, and that would go to the building owner. In addition, reimbursing approximately 25% of the remaining renovation costs. The village's share would be not to exceed $60,000. So the total financial incentive is approximately 46% of the build out costs, including the grease trap, which is slightly less than the 50% maximum available under our business incentive program. This is funded through the general fund, assigned balance for non-TIF incentives. Restaurants are a targeted business for Homewood, and Bergstein's Deli is a well-established restaurant. It's been in operation for 15 years and is owned and operated by a local family. New businesses locating in Homewood face substantial costs for modernizing spaces, especially restaurant build-outs, due to requirements for grease traps and a lot of the infrastructure for building the restaurant. We project that the annual sales would be approximately $1 million in the first year, with a 3% increase each year, which means revenue to the village of approximately $30,000 annually. That's 1% sales tax plus the 2% places of eating tax.
Thank you. I noticed the owners are here. If everyone wants to know when you're going to open. So, if you would like to come up, the podium's yours. You can get all the publicity with.
We're targeting end of January.
Okay. My son and I were there, had a brisket sandwich last week. Excellent. 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 Again, we welcome you to that. Board comments, Trustee Purcell.
Super excited about it, so good.
Yes, absolutely.
Trustee Will.
Absolutely looking forward to it.
Trustee Heiferman.
I know every time I brought my cousin Mary Ann from Brooklyn in, she really she does claim the Bensonhurst is the best sandwich in there.
Welcome to Homewood.
Well, I think that it's the best chicken Caesar salad wrap in all of the world. So I am very excited that you guys are gonna be within walking distance. I think this is a great thing for you guys, the location move. I think it's an amazing thing for our downtown community. I'm just really excited about all of it. Thank you for investing in our community too.
Yes.
With that being said, may I have a motion to accept the items on the consent agenda, please?
So. Second.
Been moved by trustee Hyperman, seconded by trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Purcell.
Aye.
Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Hyperman.
Aye.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Roman.
Aye.
The consent agenda is approved. New business. Ms. Zakowski.
Hello. So tonight we will be discussing the 2023 real estate tax levy. Let's start off, what is a tax levy and how is it set? A tax levy is the amount of money a taxing body can request from a collective group of property taxpayers in a specific area. Homewood, being a non-home rule community, falls under the Property Tax Extension Limitation Law, also known as PTEL. PTEL limits the increases the village can make to our real estate tax levy annually. Under PTEL, the tax levy is allowed to increase from the previous year's final tax extension based on the lesser of 5% or the increase in the consumer price index for the year preceding the levy year. In this case, the actual CPI for the preceding year is 6.45%. However, Homewood is only able to capture 5% of that CPI increase under the PTEL laws. The tax levy the village is also allowed to add an increase for new construction. New construction can include new builds, newly annexed areas, and recovered TIF valuations. Being an established and mostly built out community, the village generally estimates a conservative 1% increase each year. However, this year, the Southwest TIF has come to an end, so we are able to capture an additional 1% of new construction. This will bring the property tax dollars that were previously going to the TIF back to the village's general fund. So the village's new construction will increase by a total of 2%, which brings the total final tax extension levy an increase of 7% over the prior year. That then requires a truth in taxation hearing. Anything over 5% requires that we publish for a truth in taxation hearing, which we are asking with the board's direction to be held prior to the December 12th board meeting. As far as setting the real estate tax levy, under PTEL, our overall 2023 real estate tax levy will be $6.7 million. That's the 7% increase over the prior year levy of $6.3 million. State pension code states that the village's police and fire pension funds are to be funded at 90% by the year 2040. This is one of the only funding requirements that is mandated by the state. In order to meet this requirement, village staff recommends funding the required statutory minimum that will be provided by the actuary that's engaged by each of the new state consolidated pension funds. There's no requirement to the village to fund at the statutory minimum, meaning if we don't do so this year, no one other than most likely our Homewood pension funds themselves would be calling the village, but by doing so, the village will be in a position to meet the mandated 90% funded by 2040 requirement. We must meet our police and fire pension obligations first, so that's how we begin setting the new tax levy. After funding the police and fire pension obligations, the remaining levy amount is allocated towards IMRF pensions, Social Security and Medicare employer costs, audit expenses, risk management, insurance premium costs, and all other day-to-day operating expenses, including salaries. The final levy under the PTEL will end up being approximately 50% toward operations and 50% towards police and fire pensions. So the graph on the screen here shows how the village's tax levy has changed over the years, with more and more dollars needing to be obligated towards police and fire pensions. So red is the levy dollars that are going towards day-to-day operations, while the blue is the levy dollars that go towards the police and fire pensions. So you can see beginning in levy year 2018, less dollars have been able to be allocated towards day-to-day operations. The tax levy dollars for operations provide approximately 9% of the general fund revenue in the village's $25 million budget. The village is able to bridge the gap between the day-to-day and the police and fire pension funding because we have a wide variety of revenue streams that come in, such as sales tax, places for eating tax, and various other revenues. Debt payment obligations in the tax levy. So debt payments are allowed to be included in the tax levy, however, they are not governed by the PTEL. As Mayor mentioned earlier in this meeting, the final 2020 general obligation bond principal and interest payments were paid, and those had been captured on the 2022 tax levy. So the village of Homewood is currently a debt-free community, and with no new debt, we were able to remove over $500,000 from the 2023 tax levy, which results in a small but relevant amount of property tax savings for our residents. So this visual on the screen shows examples of real-time tax bills from 2022 for each of the 4 townships that are located within Homewood. Homewood's average across the 4 townships is approximately 11% of a resident's total property tax bill. So for example, if a resident's total property tax bill is $8,000, only $880 of the annual property taxes paid are allocated to cover costs for quality amenities and high-level services that are provided by the village. So tonight, the village board is asked to approve staff's recommendation to use the state's consolidated pension funds actuarial calculation to meet the required statutory minimum that will continue to move each pension fund towards being 90% funded by 2040. And we also ask the board to direct staff to publish a truth and taxation hearing notice, which is due to the overall 7% increase under the PTEL. That hearing again would take place prior to the December 12th board meeting. Any questions? I'm happy to take.
Comments or questions from anyone in the audience? Board comments, Trustee Purcell,
Thank you so much.
Trustee Willis,
Lots of information.
Trustee Eichmann. Trustee Harris Jones,
Great job.
Trustee Roman.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you broke it down for exactly. I was going to say if we could just make it clear that it's not a 7% increase on people's property tax bill, but thank you.
That
for
is
including all
yes.
that.
A lot better presentation than Dennis Bubenek used to. Very good. He was spot on. Thank you very much. With that being said, may I have a motion to approve the recommendations to use the consolidated funds actuarial calculations for our statutory minimums and also to direct staff to publish a truth in taxation hearing notice for the meeting of December 12th, right?
Yes.
May I have such a motion, please?
So moved. Second,
Been moved by Trustee Purcell, seconded by Trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Purcell. Aye. Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Heimerman.
Aye.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Roman.
aye.
The motion is approved. General board discussion, Trustee Purcell. Trustee Willis.
Already almost Thanksgiving. Everybody enjoy.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. It's already here.
Trustee Heimerman.
I have nothing.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Nothing for me.
Trustee Roman.
Nothing from me.
Just a reminder, there are 2 more days for free leaf pickup. Tomorrow, November 15th, and also November 29th. I think our Public Works Director, Don Schaefer, timed it perfectly for that free leaf pickup. With that being said, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved. Second,
Been moved by Trustee Purcell, seconded by Trustee Roman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Purcell. Aye. Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Heimerman.
Yes.
Trustee Harris Jones.
aye.
Trustee Roman.
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you all.